Welcome to This Explainer. We constantly hear that eating too much sugar causes weight gain, right? But looking into the research, it turns out that weight is just a minor, superficial issue compared to what's really happening inside. Because the true, terrifying damage of added sugar, it goes way, way beyond the bathroom scale. I mean, are sweets actually aging you at the DNA level? It sounds completely like science fiction, but it's an absolute biological reality. Think of sugar consumption like a giant iceberg. We only see the tiny tip, maybe a few extra pounds. But the most destructive forces are happening deep below the surface, at the microscopic cellular level. And today, we're going to expose exactly how that happens. Part 1. The true face of added sugar. To understand this iceberg, we first need to establish what we're actually consuming, because, spoiler alert, not all sugars are created equal. There is a massive biological difference in what we eat. When you consume natural sugar, like eating an apple or drinking a glass of milk, it comes neatly packaged with fiber, water, and essential nutrients. Your body processes that safely and beneficially. But added sugars, specifically added fructose and sucrose, they are completely stripped of those nutrients. They literally act as systemic toxins when consumed in excess. And this distinction is absolutely crucial for everything we're about to explore.
Section 2. External and general harms. Let's look at the tip of the iceberg, the visible, more commonly known effects of added sugar on the human body before we plunge into the deeper depths.
Notice how excess sugar doesn't just make you gain normal fat right under the skin. It actively bypasses normal storage and specifically packs deadly, toxic visceral fat directly around your internal organs in your abdomen. It's wild because this visceral fat actually acts like an active organ itself, constantly pumping out inflammatory signals that drive chronic diseases. The sources outline a fascinating chain reaction for why we eat so much of it in the first place. When you consume high amounts of fructose, it actively blocks leptin. Now, leptin is the crucial hormone that tells your brain, hey, I'm full. We can stop eating now. So without it, your brain literally never registers fullness. It becomes biologically impossible to feel satisfied, locking you into a devastating cycle of chronic overeating. And the visible damage doesn't stop at your waistline. Your body takes a massive hit, with extreme mood swings, energy crashes, and a scientifically proven higher risk of depression. Over time, this even extends to cognitive decline and Alzheimer's risk. Plus, let's not forget the acid-producing bacteria in your mouth that just gorge on the sugar, completely destroying your tooth enamel, or the systemic inflammation that triggers aggressive acne breakouts. Part 3. Internal organ crisis. We're moving below the surface now, where the effects of sugar become so much more severe. Okay, one of the most shocking facts in human biology I came across is how we process different sugars. Every single cell in your body can absorb and use glucose, but fructose, the primary component of added sugar, it can only be processed by your liver. It places an exclusive, crushing burden on it. Since your liver just cannot handle a massive influx of fructose all at once, it panics and converts it straight into SAT. This directly causes non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, which can eventually progress to full-blown liver cirrhosis. And while your liver is drowning in fat, your pancreas is literally exhausting itself. Constant sugar consumption means constant high blood sugar. To keep you alive, your pancreas works overtime, flooding your body with insulin to bring those levels down. But eventually, your cells just stop listening. They lose sensitivity. This is insulin resistance, and it eventually breaks the pancreas completely, leading straight to type 2 diabetes. The dominoes just keep falling here. This massive systemic inflammation ravages your cardiovascular system. It drives up blood pressure and elevates triglycerides, massively multiplying your risk for heart attacks and strokes. It even destroys the microscopic blood vessels inside your kidneys, pushing you toward kidney failure. And tragically, the combination of obesity, insulin resistance, and chronic inflammation creates a perfect storm that actually increases the risk of certain cancers, like breast and colon cancer. Sugar also triggers a specific severe hormonal crisis in women. High insulin levels suppress a vital hormone-regulating protein called SHGB while simultaneously overstimulating the ovaries. The result? The female body starts overproducing male hormones, known as androgens. This is a primary driver behind polycystic ovary syndrome, leading to severe menstrual irregularities and infertility. Part 4. Cellular level destruction. We've reached the darkest part of the iceberg, zooming straight into the microscopic damage that most people never, ever hear about. So, what are the truly hidden harms of sugar?
When reading the research, I found it incredibly helpful to think of processed sugar not as food, but as a biological energy vampire. It doesn't give your body anything. It actively steals from it.
Because processed sugar contains absolutely zero nutrients. Your body literally has to spend its own vital reserves just to digest it. It bankrupts your vitamin B1 stores, destroying nerve and energy function. The massive insulin spikes force potassium out of your blood, causing hypokalemia. And it forces your kidneys to flush essential magnesium and calcium right down the toilet in your urine, disrupting everything from muscle contractions to basic cell health. This cellular theft eventually builds into severe physical pain. The way your liver metabolizes fructose is completely unregulated. When your liver burns wildly through your cell's core energy, it creates a massive buildup of waste products. This causes uric acid to spike sharply. That uric acid destroys nitric oxide, which immediately causes high blood pressure, and then it actually crystallizes in your joints, resulting in the agonizing disease known as gout.
Have you ever wondered why heavy sugar consumption causes severe early wrinkles? It's down to a destructive medical process called glycation. Excess sugar literally attaches itself to the structural proteins in your body, collagen and elastin, and breaks them down. And terrifyingly, this doesn't just happen to your skin. It happens to the collagen matrix inside your bones too, causing them to lose their elasticity, making your bone architecture dangerously brittle and driving osteoporosis. It targets your vision too. When blood sugar is chronically high, cells in the lenses of your eyes are forced to switch to an emergency processing route. The glucose is converted into a substance called sorbitol, which gets trapped inside the eye cells. This creates immense osmotic pressure, drawing in fluid and literally clouding the lenses. This is the exact mechanism of how diabetic cataracts destroy vision. Meanwhile, down in your digestive tract, sugar is basically feeding the enemy. A high-sugar diet destroys your healthy gut flora and acts as perfect fertilizer for pathogenic fungi like Candida. This severely damages your intestinal wall, causing leaky gut syndrome, where toxins spill directly into your bloodstream, triggering systemic autoimmune diseases like Hashimoto's. And to make matters even worse, a high dose of sugar temporarily paralyzes your white blood cells, completely shutting down your immune system's ability to fight off viruses. And this brings us to the absolute narrative climax: telomeres. These are the protective caps at the ends of your DNA chromosomes, and their exact length determines your true biological age. Modern genetic research shows that consuming added sugars and sweet drinks dramatically accelerates the shortening of these telomeres. Sugar literally, scientifically, ages you faster at the DNA level. I mean, that fact just completely blew my mind. Section 5, the World Health Organization recommendation and the solution. Take a deep breath. We've explored the darkest depths of the iceberg, from visceral fat to cellular DNA aging. But the goal here isn't just to focus on the problem. It's to empower you with a concrete resolution. The World Health Organization has drawn a strict line in the sand to halt this systemic damage. Their recommendation: limit your added daily sugar to under 5% of your total calories. To put that into perspective, that equals roughly 25 grams, or just about 6 teaspoons a day. That is the necessary threshold to protect your liver, your brain, your gut, and your cells. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I really want you to sit with this final thought. Every single time you reach for that soda or that processed pastry, or add that extra scoop to your coffee, ask yourself, are those 6 extra spoons of sugar truly worth bankrupting your body's energy, burdening your organs, and sacrificing the very youth of your DNA? Armed with this knowledge, I hope you feel fully empowered to rethink your habits and take back control of your cellular health. Thanks for learning with me today, and stay curious,